Hi, welcome to Behind the Box. I'm Robbie Biscoff. We also have Rafael Rivera
Hola.
and Nick Townsend.
What's up?
Season 4 of Homeland premiered this last Sunday. We'll be talking about that and what we're watching. Also, a new movie from Christopher Nolan, but first we have news of an X-Men TV series, and Nick is going to tell us about that. Nick, what's going on with that?
Well, it's not so much news; it's more of a rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not confirmed yet, but a few people on the inside have either tweeted out messages or posted them or something like that. But Fox, I don't know if it's going to be on Fox in general, but because Fox also owns FX and some other channels, but talked about bringing X-Men as a live-action show to the small screen, to like a TV series, which I think would be a great fit. They've definitely talked about before. Actually, one of the tweets said, you know, the serial nature of comic books lend themselves better to a TV show than it does to a movie. Because a lot of these movies are great, but they kind of try to pack a few stories or like one full storyline into like a 2-hour movie, and you end up losing a lot of the nuance that's in the comic books. So I'd be interested to see what they'd be able to do.
I think you're right with the serialization, because that really, you know, and I get into the type of stuff anyways, and that way they can carry the stories out over many seasons if the show is very successful.
Right.
Like The Walking Dead at this point. So.
But they are also, like right now, The Flash just started on the CW, and Arrow has been going on for 4 or 5 seasons, I think, and now they have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is another kind of superhero movie. So I definitely think there's a proven track record of these shows succeeding. You know, that style of show succeeding. Would you guys?
You ever see that going out of style? Like, I feel like the superhero movie, TV show thing is just not going to die. Like, it's just going to keep going.
Oh yeah, I think they're just kind of late to the movie revolution, because you know we've had the movie revolution with the comic movies and the hero movies the last couple of years, and now I think they're trying to bite into that audience a little bit and kind of maybe draw some people to primetime TV who would normally watch it.
Yeah, and my hope is that it's not on like the shows on the CW are a little bit teen drama for me, and I like.
You don't like Smallville?
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I mean, some people love Smallville. I mean, more power to you if that's your thing, but it's just not for me. So I'm hoping that maybe it'll be on FX and they can kind of push the envelope a little bit more and be a little bit more edgy with it. So
now, what about the Disney Channel?
Well, the Disney Channel is definitely known for its for being edgy and dark. You know,
they push that ground every day.
They do, exactly.
I mean, that's where Miley Cyrus came from. So
well,
there you go.
I don't know where to transition from that. Well, maybe we should just move on.
I think maybe we should just hit the next subject, which is J.K. Rowling. Raphael.
Oh,
I thought that was Miley Cyrus for a second.
No. That was the best picture I could find on short notice. It's not the most.
All right. So no, that's fine. Real quick, she sent out a really cryptic tweet, and to her fans, and I think somebody solved this tweet that she sent out, and just reveals that she's going to come out with another movie. And it's not going to be like a Harry Potter based movie. It's kind of in the same world, but it's set I think it's 60 years before Harry Potter, but still in the same kind of world. But I had to bring it up on my phone because it's hard for me to remember the name. It's a teaser about Newt Scamander. It sounds funny, but it's a character, you know, who's an expert in fantastic creatures, but it's loosely titled right now Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it's set in New York in the 1920s, I think it is. But that's basically all I know.
But there's a lot of speculation, because I was looking
tons
at it
of
too,
speculation.
because there are some people who actually still think it's another Harry Potter edition, that Harry Potter's coming back, and she's just trying to give it to everybody in like a real weird cryptic way or something, or maybe she doesn't want to reveal it. I mean,
well, you know, personally, I think if they do Harry Potter again, then they need to have it where he's much older. in that. But if it's before it and within the same
like
kind of
middle-aged or like really old Harry Potter, like ancient, like
Gosh.
like old man Harry Potter.
Well,
I don't
Daniel
know, like-
Radcliffe is like 30 now, right?
Well,
Well,
even
they
if
could get
he's
somebody else to play Harry Potter if they made him.
Can
any
they?
older. Well, I don't know.
Oh yeah, if they make him like real old.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
maybe
you
like
know.
ultra aged. He's like 100 years old, and I don't know, something weird, and I don't know. But for the most part, I do like her work. I'm expecting. I think they're going to come out in 2016, so it's fairly soon. So we'll see. Something
I like the idea of the 20s New York thing. I'd be interested in seeing that and seeing how they pull it off. I mean, if they have the right budget, I think it could be really good. But if they don't,
Pretty sure they'll have the right budget.
Oh, yeah,
it's coming from
definitely.
Harry Potter.
right? But I mean, it also depends on what network it goes on. If they have that kind of prowess where they can build that world.
But is this a TV series?
No,
This
it's
is
a movie.
This is a movie.
Oh,
It is a
okay.
movie.
This is a movie.
Oh, okay. Well then, they got all the money in the world. They can
So
spend
let's
all the
move on
money.
to our next one, American Horror Story.
Now this
Now-
is a TV show.
Yeah, this is a TV
Okay.
show.
It's on the TV.
Now,
All right, I'm getting it right.
I'm actually in a hurry right now to get through this show because it's premiering on tonight while we're shooting this show, and I want to go home and watch the new season of it.
No.
I'm in a
No.
hurry because it's 90 degrees.
Well, it's hot in here too. But that's not what I want to talk about. With American Horror Story, news has been coming out the last couple of days about the creator is going to do a spin-off from American Horror Story. And I don't know, you guys watch American Horror Story at all? It's an anthology series.
My sister's really into it, but I want to, watch it. But sometimes I get other interests. But for the most part,
the series is
we have
really
you.
good, but I don't think the spin-off idea to me is sounding a little. The idea for his spin-off is he's going to do a crime anthology series, which, by the way, True Detective has already beat him to that punch. So he's not doing anything like that's going to be like groundbreaking. You want to say something? I see your mouth moving there. What's up?
Oh, I was just going to say, but it can be very different from that. I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
definitely.
the only way to do a crime anthology. And
Well,
I
you know
mean,
what the
from-
rumored first season's supposed to be?
What?
The O.J. Simpson case.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where
So-
they're gonna do a whole season of TV that's gonna be about the O.J. Simpson story, basically.
I mean, that's interesting, but how?
Yeah, well, and
is-
that's what I mean.
Like 3 episodes of just the Bronco driving down the highway?
I don't know why I was thinking. Every time I think about that, I just think about the Bronco.
The Bronco.
That's 'cause
Well, I think
everybody
they're
saw on
I think
TV.
of Bronco and white gloves. Pretty much, that's what I think of when I think of that.
They had an increase
But
in
I also think of
sales,
Michael Jackson when I
Broncos.
think of white gloves too. So
Oh.
Just one.
Yes, that's true. Well, he has like the rhinestone gloves.
Yeah. I got
I
one.
mean, he doesn't have any gloves anymore. But
Nick's got one.
Who doesn't?
Nick, you've got your rhinestone gloves.
Yeah,
that
of
one.
course. I didn't bring it tonight, but
Oh, when he does his moonwalk in practice.
yeah.
Every-
Works well with spirit fingers, too.
He does it on full moon nights.
Oh, well, you have a good night. It's the full moon night. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that, because that's all the information that's out right now. And I think if we continue this block any longer, it's just going to move into really dangerous territory. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and knit it right there. We'll be right back with our What We're Watching segment. Welcome back to Behind the Box, What We're Watching, and it's going to get started with Homeland Season 4. I know Nick likes Homeland Season 1, but I don't think he's gone beyond that yet, and I don't think you watched Homeland
I haven't
at
even
all.
seen it yet.
Well, I've got the Showtime.
Give me the gist.
Well, let him chime
So,
in.
I got the Showtime app now, so I need
Watch
to catch
it.
up. Yeah.
Catch it up.
So
catch it up.
don't spoil too much right now.
Oh, dude,
for
I
me.
have to talk about some stuff.
All right,
You're going to have to
all right.
ignore that. I mean,
Okay, I'll just plug my ears.
the main thing about this season, Homeland has pretty much been okay. You don't do that. I'll let you know when I'm coming up on a spoiler. And yes, if you haven't seen through season 4 yet, there's spoilers ahead. So do we have the alarm with the little light or whatever? Woo,
That's
spoiler
it.
alert.
There we
Okay,
go.
there we go. All right.
Oh, gosh.
So, anyways, Homeland has been a really good show. It's been an award-winning show. Damian Lewis and Claire Danes have been awesome in it. But many kind of felt like toward the end of the second season that the Brody Carrie plot line was kind of played itself out. And they did a really good job with where it went in the second season. I'm not going to spoil too much about that for you. It's just that, they caught up to what was going on pretty quickly in the second season. So it's not like you spend the entire second season going, is he good or bad? Is he good or bad again? You know, so they kind of established that. And in the third season, when they started that, which was last year, they basically did almost the entire season without him. He was like in another country, and I'm not going to say why and all that, but they would do like an episode, like maybe 2 every, couple that he would be in. And then that's all. And I think what they were doing was prepping people for the fact that, spoiler alert, Brody's no longer on the show. So,
okay. Well, that doesn't really spoil it.
Yeah,
you don't know how.
Yeah, and I'm not, so what they've decided to do for the 4th season, which just premiered this last Sunday, is they've decided to do a reboot of the show, basically. And they've moved them to a different location. Like, Carrie is now in another country working as, like, a division. Like, she's like a head of ops.
So, but it's still the same characters? Like,
not all, they've added a couple.
It's still
new.
her.
Yeah, Claire Danes is still in it.
She's the best.
Mandy Patinkin, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I believe
He's still in it as Saul.
Okay,
and Rupert Friend is, you haven't seen any episodes with him in it yet, but he came in the second season. He's a really good character.
Nice.
And he's still in it, but they've added a couple new characters now. And at this point, Carrie is kind of, her mental problems and all that stuff are kind of done. So now she's kind of moving forward with her life and doing what she was being trained to do, which was do this job in another country. The basic plot of the 4th season, without spoiling too much, is that she causes a problem with a drone strike or an airstrike on this house that this terrorist was supposedly in, but she didn't know at the time that they were having a wedding and like 40 family members were in there, so they killed like all these people.
Oh, wow.
But one kid survived and had iPhone video of the wedding. So now it's like this huge thing where the government's trying to cover it up. She doesn't want to cover it up, and you know how she is. So it's like, so that's kind of where they've gone with the 4th season, and it's pretty good. I mean, they've basically started a whole new fresh track for the show to move on into.
That's good, because I mean, you can only go so far with what they were doing.
Exactly.
So I'm glad that they're still keeping it fresh, but keeping that core, because I mean, those were definitely Saul and Carrie.
Oh yeah. Well,
characters.
What they've done is they've moved away from the family element, like that they were paying a really heavy attention to like Brody's family and his daughter. And I'm sorry, by the 3rd season, I was sick of his daughter and wife being in the show. Like, I just did not want them in the show because they took away from what was going on with the overseas stuff, the political stuff, and the cool stuff. It was like, oh, now we're gonna cut to, oh, she's having a hard time in school because her dad's a bad guy. It's like, I just didn't like that. I kind of got over it. So I was like, I'm glad that they moved on from that. But I'm not going to go any further with it. I think I've spent enough time on it so far now. But Homeland Season 4 on Showtime. It comes on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Check it out. So moving on from that to Supernatural. Is this actually still on the air, like new episodes?
Yes. I think they just entered Season 10. They just released Season 9. So if you want to pick up watching it, I highly recommend it. But just to give you a gist of it, it's basically 2 guys who are demon hunters. And it's kind of in the world where angels and devils and demons, goblins all live. And they basically find out through weird news stories, different things that, haunted houses or people that are possessed, etc. These little stories, and they investigate them. And then a lot of times, pretty much all the time, they encounter a demon or some kind of supernatural, experience. So then they try to capture the demon or eradicate the demon, etc. So they're out fighting, evil basically. So
what was that show, Fringe? Was that kind of like that?
Kind of like
different.
Kind of like that, but different.
Actually.
But this is, they work alongside angels and
So is that who the 3rd guy is?
That's who the 3rd guy is. That's
okay.
one of the archangel. One of the archangels.
And was he in the earlier seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been around for a while, kind of on and off.
Because the only thing I've ever seen is them 2 on like posters and stuff. I've never seen the 3rd guy before, so I was just wondering.
I think it's really cool. I think sometimes there's a lot of brooding. There's a lot of, personal experience that they're going along with what they're doing and all that. It's kind of a family business they've grown up with, as pretty much they lost their mom at an early age because of a demon possession, and since then the dad's been looking for the killer, and during which he's learned how to kill demons and vampires and etc. But more demons and devils and all that stuff. So you encounter the actual devil, you encounter different, actual, like you would imagine in a biblical sense, biblical kind of angels, coming down. So it's really good. I'm excited that season 9's on there because I've been waiting. I don't really watch it on cable, but now that it's on Netflix, I can pick up again and watch it. So
I think it comes on the CW then.
yeah, I think it's CW. What is it? Friday? 9. It says
Says
Says it on the graphic.
according to this.
According
Friday
to the graphic, it says Friday.
yeah. If it is changing, I'm sorry.
I don't know how old that is. So,
But it is pretty cool. I mean, the guys ride around a 60. I'm sorry, I'm wrong again. 67 Impala. They're riding around this like hot car and killing demons. It's really cool. A little brotherly love kind of thing.
Well, I watched the pilot and the second episode after that, and I wasn't like turned down by it, but I just don't think I ever kind of decided to follow through with it. Like I don't know why, I just kind of went off on something else at that point. So I might go back to it.
I can see how that happened because I mean, the same thing happened to me in the beginning, and then I just got curious and said, "Screw it, I'll just keep watching," and then I just got hooked.
Now, is it procedural, serial, or is it both?
I think it's a little bit of both. A little bit of
Combination
both.
of both. Talk with your hands.
But mostly serial because the story just goes on and on and on and on.
So it really is heavily serialized.
Yeah. It's really
Well, then
good.
that's something I got to watch now.
That's
I
right,
thought it was
bro.
more of a procedural show. I didn't know there was
It
a
leaves you hanging
bunch
every
connected.
time. There's always like,
Does it become more serial as it goes along from the first season?
yeah, it just gets deeper and deeper.
Okay.
And you just want to know more as it goes along, and then it leaves you hanging at the end. Like especially in season 7, it just left you just in total limbo, literally in total limbo.
I think I might
In
have a
limbo,
show
the
to
place, like-
watch.
Purgatory.
Purgatory, there you go. It leaves you in purgatory.
Nice. That's
So
interesting.
I'll check it out. I'll
pretty
keep
cool.
watching
I
on
like it.
Gone in 60 seconds, Nick. Are you going to do this in 60 seconds?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I'm leaving actually in 60 seconds.
Oh,
he's
awesome.
gone.
Even better.
He's gone in 60 seconds.
So
Kate
I'm-
style.
I'm just gonna throw a wild guess out there. Robbie's never seen this movie.
Well, you know what?
That's a no.
I'm going to have to say
No.
no.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And that just took up 60 seconds, so you're done.
Yeah, you really did just take up 60. So this movie came out in 2000, so it's a couple years old,
Wow. A couple.
but it still holds up. It's still a really, really good
Heck
movie.
yeah, man. The collection of cars that are in it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a car
Cinematography,
fan,
just the energy in there was great.
but usually when I'm playing Forza Horizon 2 on Xbox, so normally like whatever game that I'm playing, I kind of want to watch movies that are like that, and that's a car game. So I was looking at what car movies I have, and of course I have all of the Fast and Furious movies. I mean, who doesn't? But I have like 5 copies of the first one. But
You have cars?
yeah. But Gone in 60 Seconds, I was like, oh, well, what about Gone in 60 Seconds? And my brother and I watched it, and it's just a great movie. I mean, it's an awesome Nick Cage movie, which, I'm a big fan. And he can kind of be that weird character guy, but he does action pretty well. At least this, because it's not like, what was that movie where he could like see the future or whatever? That was horrible. And some of his movies are really bad, but I think he does.
I've never heard of that one, so it must have been really, really bad.
Yeah, it was real bad.
Is this your favorite Nick Cage movie?
No, I think probably Raising Arizona is my favorite Nick Cage.
I saw that a long time ago. But I don't
Matchstick Men is also very, very good. But
I like The Rock.
Oh yeah,
That's a good
thanks.
job. Yeah, good job, Robbie. All right,
Yes,
dude.
thank you for seeing The Rock.
Yes, I did see The Rock.
But a bunch of other people in it. Angelina Jolie's his love interest. Giovanni Ribisi is his little brother. And I mean, if you're a car fan and you haven't seen Gone in 60 Seconds, go rent that right now because that's.
Can I finish Fast and Furious first?
Yeah, please.
5 and 6 are
Would
the only
you?
ones I haven't seen yet.
Would you please? Like the 2 greatest ones.
I know.
Well, other than the first one. I mean, come on.
The first one was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
I agree.
But that's just a revised version of Point Break. So, I mean, but see 5 and 6, and then go see Gone in 60 Seconds. It's actually 2 hours long. It's not 60 seconds, but you could find the time.
I thought it was only 60 seconds.
In between episodes of Supernatural, you can watch it.
I've got a list. It's like a mile long of stuff I'm watching.
I think we all do. And stuff that we want to watch.
And stuff that we don't want to watch.
Well, there's stuff that I really want to watch, but then it's not like in the pile of, but I've got to watch this, and I want to watch this, and I might get around to watching that. That's my 3 rating system.
And I'm definitely not going to watch that, is the last thing.
Yeah, I'm not really, I'm pretty much open to almost anything, except like weird shit, which I'm just not like into that kind of stuff. But I don't know what defines it, but I'm just not.
Oh, man, I got some weird Peter Jackson movies you can watch.
I know you're into some weird stuff. So.
Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, what is that? Anyway, so that's gone in 60 seconds.
And that was more than 60 seconds.
Yes.
Space herpes.
Well, we'll be coming back for our next segment, Netflix Picks, in just a minute. Welcome back to Behind the Box, Netflix Picks, and Raphael's got an old one, Tombstone.
Not that old, but it's probably one of the best American Westerns ever made. Wouldn't you agree?
I would agree.
Boom.
It is awesome.
And Robbie, just by looking at your face, you have not seen this movie.
I have not seen this movie.
Is it a movie? Robbie hasn't seen it.
It's almost, it's really true to the things that happen in Tombstone, Arizona, in the West. You know, the OK Corral events, and, you know, Wyatt Earp, etc. But Doc Holliday, which is Val Kilmer's character, one of my all-time favorite Western movies out there. Highly recommend it. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I know Nick has an opinion on it. What was your favorite?
Cut to Nick.
Tell me, like, your favorite. Like, do you have a character that stood out for you?
Doc Holliday.
Everyone's is Doc Holliday. I like
Yeah.
Wyatt Earp.
Did you?
Yeah, mainly because he's trying to retire, and that's kind of how he starts out. But then, you know, all these bandits come out of nowhere, and
What? Oh, it's Sam Shepard, right? Is that the guy's name?
thinks that the actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's Val Kilmer, Kurt Russell, Bill Paxton, and Sam Shepard.
Whoa, Bill
Yes,
Paxton's
good job.
in it too? Wow.
Yes. So Bill Paxton is his brother, and Sam Shepard's
Is
his
this
other
90s
brother.
or 80s?
It's 90s.
90s, okay.
Yeah. And it comes on USA like all the time.
I figured Bill Paxton was in it. It's got to be a 90s movie.
Yeah, definitely. But those are his 2 brothers, and then Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp, and then Val Kilmer is Doc Holliday. But he's just
It has everything.
he's just a badass as Doc Holliday. Like he's got the what is the sickness that he has?
Tuberculosis.
Yeah. So he's like
I remember
deathly ill the whole time, but he's still like talking shit to people. His whole thing is that he comes out west to feel better, to have that dry air, right?
Right.
And like he's just deathly ill the whole time, but he still like goes in these gun battles and helps them out and all that. But it's a cool movie.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, I mean,
Appreciate it.
Continue talking. Why do you like Wyatt Earp so much? Because he's the worst
Yeah.
character.
No, he's not.
This just
like,
became Nick's story, pretty
he's
much.
he's like the elder, you know, in a way, and I don't know, man. I just like all the heroes of the West. You know, you name them. If they make a movie about the West, I'm definitely gonna watch it. So I highly recommend. That's my recommendation.
Sorry. Have you seen The Assassination of Jesse James?
No, and I'm sad I didn't.
It's really good.
I'll
Yeah.
probably watch that tonight, man.
It's got, I want to say it's Brad Pitt is Jesse James, and Casey Affleck is like the main character.
When did that come out?
He's really good. A while ago. But it was kind of a small indie movie. The cinematography is beautiful in that movie. You should definitely watch that. And it might be on streaming. I mean, it was a small movie and it's been out for a while, so I'll check it out. That's my recommendation.
Wow, thanks, Nick. But yeah, Tombstone, awesome Western movie.
You guys just were handling this one, so I'm kind of just hanging out.
You don't have any westerns that you?
That's right. I hung out during Homeland. So.
That is the one type of thing I just don't get into. Like,
See, I
just
don't like the old style westerns, but like the '90s stuff, I can get into.
So I won't promise you I'm gonna watch that one. That won't be on my list.
You seen Young Guns?
No.
Seen Young Guns? Oh.
Young Guns 2?
Yeah, Young Guns 2.
Oh yeah.
Whatever, man.
All that stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah, just farthest I've got as a Western would be Back to the Future 3. So
Oh God.
I think
the worst one.
that's like the closest to a Western I'm ever gonna
It's
get.
not really a Western, but you know, I think the world that it's set in, you know, they did an okay job.
Yeah.
But it's not the best Back to the Future movie, but
No, I don't think so.
I think being set in the West.
I think the first and the second were the. I can't decide between the first and the second. I think the second.
I like the first one.
Really? I don't know. Well, the first one's good because that's the one you first saw and you grew up with, and that was kind of that magical movie. But like when the second one came out and the hoverboards and stuff, I was just kind of like.
But I don't like the whole side storyline with like where Biff becomes
the alternate
powerful,
1985. Yeah.
And, like his mom is there with Biff, and that always just bothered me. I was like, I don't want to see him succeeding.
Dang, went from Tombstone to Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, and
Pretty awesome.
from that to The Blacklist. Have any of you seen The Blacklist?
I saw this come up on Netflix.
Yes, they actually spent a lot of money to get the first season, like before anybody else could get access to it.
I'm curious about James Spader running with this.
And I was too, because I didn't even realize that was him at first. Because let's face it, The Office. He's all right. But he's not like the best character in the whole world when he came onto The Office. And his acting was very bland and very dry. So
he can be a badass, can't he?
Yes. And in this show, he really takes it to another level. And that's why, sadly, before I knew it was on Netflix, I purchased the Blu-ray. So I didn't know it was on Netflix at the time, but I started watching it, and I think I'm through like the 6th episode of the first season right now. Mm-hmm. And what's up?
I don't know what that tagline. Never trust a criminal until you have to.
Well, that pretty much sums up the show.
Right, like he's this, badass, know-it-all criminal.
It's just not the best line.
The premise is he's this.
Do you have to?
Oh no.
He's a criminal that's like been eluded the FBI and everything. He was a government agent in the beginning, and then he went rogue and kind of did his own thing for many years. And he's one of the most wanted lists for the FBI. He walks in, turns himself in one day, and says, look, you guys give me immunity and freedom to move around and do my own business, and I'll give you some of the most notorious, heinous criminals you guys have never even heard of. And it's his blacklist, and he has like this list of all these people that nobody's aware of, but his catch is he insists on only working with one particular FBI agent. He will only talk to that one person, and it's this fresh out of Quantico, young, brand new, first starting agent. It's like her first day on the job. And there's a big mystery there as to why he picked her. And that's kind of like one of the serialized things that hangs out through the season. And the show is procedural a little bit, and it's also serialized as well. So you have, every week is a new blacklist bad guy for the most part. And so they got to go after this person. And they've done a really good job with being creative, because it's not like this guy launders money and this guy does, they've done they did like a story of a guy that like melts people in a bathtub. So it's actually almost goes out toward like the X-Files and Fringe type cases sometimes as it goes further on. So they're willing to get a little bit nutty with that. But it's also got 2 or 3 really heavily serialized, which is the whole relationship between him and the agent and why he picked her and all that. There's a question of the agent's husband or boyfriend. He kind of brings it up, and his character in this is he just lies. He does whatever he wants to get what he wants. In the end, he manipulates people. So he mentions something to her about, your boyfriend's not who you think he is. And because you don't know whether to trust him or not, she doesn't know. So she tries to figure out stuff about her boyfriend, and it's just kind of been going on. They haven't really revealed much yet as to where that's all going, but it's definitely really good. And James Spader, you can forget about the way he was in The Office, because in this, he does a really good job at playing the character. So I think the 2nd season just started on NBC, and the 1st season's on Netflix. So you can get caught up on Netflix, and you can check out the 2nd season.
I might actually.
Did I sell you on it?
It caught my eye. I might actually watch something that you recommended. So
awesome, great.
Probably on my
maybe list. Well, Nick doesn't like regular network TV.
Yeah, and procedural crime dramas just. Well,
but it's kind of serialized too. It's heavily serialized in a point. You know what I mean? So it's not, because believe me, I don't like
CSI.
Actually, I did like CSI in the earlier days, but it's just too far out now. I don't watch it that much anymore. But shows like that are crime of the week, and they don't really get to the serialized stuff until maybe the end of the season, that's not that. The serialized stuff is in every episode. So you do have to kind of watch them in order to kind of get that feel. But there is like that standalone procedure as well, So it's a mix. So it's definitely good.
Cool.
So moving on from that to another show that's heavily, heavily, heavily serialized.
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Have you guys seen any of The Walking Dead ever
I've never
before?
heard of
God,
the show.
you know,
Yeah.
I hate to say I've never seen one episode.
Yeah, well,
You
it's this
lying?
movie
I'm
about...
just kidding. Yes, I've seen
Oh
them.
God,
We're just joking here.
It's this TV show about
Seen it all.
vampires, and...
vampires?
yeah.
Is Buffy
No,
in it?
no, no.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Buffy the Vampire
Let's get
Slayer.
serious here. It starts in a week right now, right?
Well, the new episode. So
Less
Nick
than
kind
a
of
week.
picked this as
Messing
like
around.
a preempt to the new episodes, which will be starting next week, or actually this Sunday,
This Sunday.
Yeah.
on AMC. So.
Well, depending on when this show airs. Sunday, I don't know what the date is.
I usually post on Sundays now, so this will be probably up at the same time Walking Dead's getting ready to come on.
Oh,
so.
okay. So watch this first, and then go and watch The Walking Dead.
Probably not. They're probably going to watch The Walking Dead, then they'll come watch this.
Well, either way. So what I was saying, the reason I picked this is because actually right now AMC is doing just a full marathon. I think, actually I turned
Yeah,
on
last
early.
time, didn't they?
Yeah. So straight from season 1 all the way through, and then they're gonna pick it up on Sunday.
That's
So I
awesome.
started watching it a little bit, and it's really fun to go back and watch like season 1.
I feel like it's so long ago.
It is, and you see these characters and these actors, and they look dramatically different.
I
yeah,
think they do a wonderful
they
job.
look clean, shaven,
Yeah, and I mean even
Short
like,
hair.
short
Yeah,
hair.
even the hair, and I mean, like especially the first couple episodes, you could tell. I mean, it's like they just left work or something like that, and you know, now you go into the season that's about to start, and it's like they're dressed in rags, and they're all have really long hair and beards.
Rick's got
and-
the beard.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see the news that he actually shaved his beard, though?
Oh, really?
And it's for the show, but they won't reveal why. So he kind
Wow.
of teased that.
He's probably going into badass mode,
Gonna
and
be
he's like, I'm
interesting.
gonna shave this.
Yeah, he doesn't shave it, he just rips it off.
I hope he uses like a rainbow knife to shave. He's like, no shaving cream or anything.
He's bleeding, he's like, they're screwing with the wrong people. That was the edited version of it. It's much
Yeah.
different on Netflix than on Blu-ray.
Which, yeah. So that's what I was saying. If you don't catch the marathon, go back and watch some of the stuff on Netflix before. Even if you don't get all the way through to the end, it's still fun to go back and see those characters at the beginning and some of the characters that aren't even in the show anymore.
A lot of them.
Yeah, most of them. pretty
Let's
much.
name some. No.
Well, it's not because we don't even like those characters, so I'm glad they're dead. All of them.
So we're starting season 5 now.
Season 5 coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making sure the number's right. But
And
they
they
did
announced
sign up
already.
for 6.
They've already announced that it was renewed for season 6.
And who is shocked by
Yeah,
that?
I mean, come on.
No
It's
one
like their
is.
staple show. So.
But this kind of leads back, like, harkens back to my X-Men thing. Is this is a comic book? It's based on a comic
Mm-hmm.
book, and it's excellent. And they push the envelope, and they also don't go right in line with the comic books. They kind of
No.
pick and choose stories. And
Well, do you know that the 2 most popular characters in The Walking Dead are not in the comic books?
Really?
Yes. Merle and his brother. Dale and... Or is it Dale? No, not Dale. What's his-
Daryl.
Daryl and Merle were not in the comics. So they invented those for the show. And they
Oh
are
man,
two
I
of the
wish
biggest
Merle was
characters.
still around.
I do too.
I like Merle.
For those people... Let me just keep those
No
in.
one likes Merle. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
no?
kidding me? I loved Merle. I thought Merle was
And
awesome.
he was just starting to come around. I actually just watched Days of Thunder the other day, and he's in that.
Is he
as
in that?
Roddy Burns, yeah. He's like the other driver who before.
Wow.
I thought that was like a
It's all-
really bad movie.
Oh, it's so good.
Really?
So many great one-liners in it. I mean, it's bad, but it's good. Like it's one of those movies. So
Days
many
of Thunder, that's Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Robert Duvall. And
Yeah.
oh, what's the guy? What's the brother from Randy Quaid's in it?
Oh, God.
Yeah. So
That's
Nice.
Cousin Eddie.
that's another great one. Days of
Cousin
Thunder.
Eddie.
If y'all are looking for something to watch. Yeah, Cousin Eddie.
So
Anyways.
the gist is watch Walking Dead, Netflix, whatever, and if you can catch up, that's great. If not, watch the new season, which should be right around the time we're shooting this or releasing this. So,
Yeah. Can't
anyways, we'll
wait.
be right back with our future focus segment, so stay right here. Welcome back to our final segment, Future Focus, and I believe we're going to go
Where are we going?
with Nick first.
All right.
You're going to punch me in
Well, what are we
Well,
talking
what's the
about?
graphic here that we
There
got?
it is.
Hey.
American Sniper.
Yeah. So that's this movie.
Okay.
It's about a sniper, and he's from America. And that's all I really got on it.
Oh, you got Bradley Cooper.
Look,
you
now
got
you told me you didn't. You
Sienna
had more
Miller.
than that.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So the trailer, they just released the trailer for this, and it's almost a scene, and I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it, but you'll see some of it in the B-roll. But it's basically him on a roof in Iraq or something like that with his spotter, and he sees this woman and a kid walking out of this building coming towards a convoy, and he sees the woman pull out a RPG grenade and hand it to the kid, and the kid starts running, and he has to like decide if he's going to shoot this kid.
Oh, God.
And they're like, yeah, and the guy's like, his partner's like, they'll fry you if you're wrong. And then it just cuts to the title. And I'm like, oh man, that's intense. But it's directed by Clint Eastwood, which, I like some of his stuff, but not all of it. So I'm interested to see what he does with this. I didn't like Flags of Our Fathers, which was the most recent war movie that he did.
I love Jersey Boys.
Did he direct that?
He did do Jersey
Well,
Boys.
see.
Yep.
And he did Gran Torino, which I liked a lot.
I like that one too.
And Bradley Cooper is in it, which he's great, and we'll see what he does with this character. But it's a true story. It's about, you see in the graphic, it's about the most lethal sniper in U.S. history. So he had the most number of kills. So it's kind of about his story, and we'll see.
And this is December when this is coming out. Right?
Yeah, I think it comes out like around Christmas.
Oh.
So it'll be one of those.
Merry Christmas.
One of those Christmas Day movies that everybody goes and sees. So I'm interested, but I'm not quite sold on it. So we'll see what other trailers they come out with and see if that sells me a little bit more on it. But I don't know, it might be cool. We'll see.
I like sniper movies.
Yeah, me too. You've
What
ever
about,
seen
what about? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna go, what about this
Enemy at the
Interstellar?
Gates is what I was going to talk
Enemy
about.
at the Gates? No.
Oh, that's a great
It's
one.
not Sniper.
I'll let you borrow it, actually. I got it.
Enemy at the Gates?
Mm-hmm.
I want to borrow
That's
that.
excellent. But Interstellar, let's talk about that.
Oh, man. I love space.
It's the Final Frontier.
I like space and apocalyptic world movies and all that, and this is kind of where it's going in that direction, where a collection of astronauts are sent off to find, another world where the humans can move to, they can live. But it's very man. I'm having trouble
Would you like
explaining.
to come back and
You should check the trailer out for one. It's Christopher Nolan's latest movie. It's coming out really soon.
Well, he produced it. He didn't direct it.
Well,
right?
well, he's still bringing it to us.
Christopher Nolan of Batman fame, like The Dark Knight.
There you go. There you go. But I think it's gotten a lot of hype because of it's. See, now I forgot the actor who's in it.
Matthew McConaughey.
There you go. Nick's
Oh,
got
he's
my
in it.
back.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's kind of the main character. He leaves Earth with a crew of space. God. That was just my phone ringing. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that. But anyways, you don't really know. You only can tell through the trailers that they're on a mission to find an inhabitable planet. So they use this wormhole to get on, to travel through, and of course they gotta sleep. Sorry, man, I've just screwed that up because my phone's ringing up. But anyways, so you'll see the trailer where they're visiting an alien planet, and you'll also be able to go to the website, and you can actually travel around the actual spacecraft that they have. And I think there's also an Oculus Rift thing where you can travel around,
That's cool.
3D space of
Oculus Rift is the 3D.
right, the headset, like virtual reality. Yeah,
goggles.
yeah, and it just looks like a gorgeous movie. And put a spacesuit on and go into space. I'm gonna watch it.
This is my kind of. I mean, I will say this is. I do like this type of stuff a lot. In terms, that's the one type of movie I really like. We'll get into. I mean, you guys ever seen Moon?
Yes.
Oh God, that was an awesome movie.
That was really good.
And the Oblivion with Tom Cruise was
Yeah,
really
that
good
was
too.
excellent as
So-
well.
Oblivion. Hold on. Seen that one. Okay.
Yeah.
To think about it.
But another thing about Interstellar is, in a couple of trailers that I've seen, they really emphasize Matthew McConaughey is kind of a young father. He's got a young daughter, and he has to leave on this mission. He's going to be gone for like 20 years. So she...
That's what gets me, and I think they cut to where she's older in a couple of scenes.
So, yeah, so they leave when she's a small girl, and she's crying, like, don't leave. And he's like, I have to. Like, this is to save the world, to save you. And I mean, that is more compelling to me, that he's only going because of her. like he doesn't want to go because of her, but then he also has to go because of her. And then he comes back and she's a grown woman, and then it's
Definitely a reason why I want to see this movie real
Yeah,
bad, because I can relate.
Well, and it's kind of getting a little freaky too, because our times are kind of moving toward that. Because you know about like the whole missions to Mars and stuff that they're trying to get going with sending people to Mars permanently and them never coming back and stuff like that. Seems very, it's just weird how we're kind of crossing into that sci-fi world now with that.
I think it's Buzz Aldrin has a book about that, about like the mission to Mars and what he thinks, like how successful he thinks it'll be, and but yeah, it's basically if you're going, you're gonna be there.
Yep, you're done. I think the last thing I saw, I know we're getting off of it, it's just like they're trying to figure out a way to do suspended animation for like a long, prolonged period of time. Like, God, if they figured that out, how freaky would that be? Just be like a sci-fi movie, It's
Well,
like,
think about it. I mean, not even for space travel, just for because people would want to do that right now.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
Well, they are freezing bodies right now. They've been doing that. And
you'd have yourself a Futurama story.
Those are people that are
cryogenic.
People that are dead, though, right?
I think so.
Like nobody's
With
freezing
diseases
themselves while
that
they're
they-
still alive.
I don't think so. I think they experimented that on insects where they froze them and then brought them back. But I mean, it's a different biological makeup. But yeah, if they do perfect that, can you imagine just putting you in a capsule and then just shoot you, in one direction for 20 years and then it automatically wakes you up? I mean,
it's time
weird.
travel, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty amazing.
So if you liked all that, you should probably go see Interstellar.
And it's just a big cinematic movie too.
Oh,
It just looks like a huge, That's why the whole Nolan producing it thing is big, because he created that great world of Gotham and the Dark Knight and all that. So it'll be interesting. And what was the movie? Dream Within a Dream thing.
Oh, Inception.
Yes.
Ah, that was
so.
That
Yeah,
was a
so that
good
movie
movie,
kind
too.
of proves what he can do with world building and transition to House of Cards.
Yeah. Speaking of world building,
Well, at least building a nation.
nation building.
Well,
So
yeah.
there you go. I mean, I don't got much on it. There has been some news about season 3 that's leaked. I'm happy, first of all, to know there is going to be a season 3, because I was kind of unsure about that in the first place. But with as popular as it's been, they got to have a third season. They've been spotted shooting in Washington D.C. And they were actually something with clearance having to do with them shooting at the United Nations led to them rumoring that some of this will take place overseas or in a different country. In the next season, it'll be more international based than it will just like right where it's been. And there's
We're all caught up, right?
Yes.
Spoiler, spoiler, if you're not
Yeah.
caught up at all, just mute it, because we're going to say some things. If you're not caught up, do not listen to this part. But, so he's president now.
Yeah.
So, like,
Season 3 is all about,
it's going to be awesome if
Dude.
he's going to the UN and he's, like, doing these, backstabbing
Can only
stuff.
imagine.
Yeah, but what's he going to
countries
do?
and
Is he going to
stuff.
bring like other countries down to their knees now, or is he just going to try to keep bringing down his own country? That's what I'm kind of wondering, because
or is he going to try to do some good? You think he has that in him?
maybe that would be a shocker if they turned that around and had him like trying to do the good thing, because I still feel like most of his drive at this point is revenge. So I kind of feel like he just wants to get even with the system. But
I think he did that.
yeah, he's president now.
Yeah.
So
President now.
I think that was his plan all along through those first seasons.
So now what happens when
And
he
now he's
becomes
there.
president?
Yeah.
So,
I think it might be about him protecting that status, because he now has a bunch of skeletons in his closet, namely his chief of staff.
yeah.
We don't even know where he is. He was left out in the woods. So that's going to be a big deal when when we figure out what happened with that. But that's only one of them. He's killed people. He's had
Oh
people
yeah, I
killed.
mean, well, and what he did to the real president. I mean, the president. I mean, that was just. Oh my God, it was ingenious, but it was just horrible too at the same time. And then he was like all friendly and being his friend at the same time, and it was just like.
And then you have
Called
his
utter
better
manipulation, man.
Man.
And his wife, like, what is she going to get into?
half. Exactly.
Because she's really not that innocent either,
No, oh, definitely
They make
not.
the perfect
She's just as
couple.
much as he is into
It's
everything.
come a long way since being Jenny in Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I could not believe that was. I did not know that. I
Yeah.
was just like, wow, that's Jenny.
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 I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, there's a couple lines in there I'd like to say, but I'm not going to.
Run, Forrest, run! Sorry.
No, not that.
Sorry.
Mine had something to do with like bed sheets, but
Oh, gosh.
Lieutenant Dan. Oh, wait, that's not about Jenny.
No, jeez Louise.
They gave you legs.
Magic legs.
Magic legs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm gonna have to go watch Forrest Gump now.
Pull up with the
But somebody's cranking a stereo system out there. But there's rumors that it's still going to be February. It's not 100% sure, but February, Netflix full release, hopefully for House of Cards Season 3.
Nice.
So we'll
Binge
find
watch
out.
like crazy.
And speaking of getting to an episode count here, well, we reached our 10th episode.
Woo!
I know it's, not that big of a deal, but for us it's kind of a little personal milestone that, we've worked hard since episode 1, and I think we've come a long way. So I had to at least say that.
Yeah.
And, and to celebrate, I let my hair grow out,
Yeah, me too.
But keep on watching because we're going to have more. And Nick's going to tell you how to find us if you don't know.
Yeah, so everything is Behind the Box TV. So behindtheboxtv@gmail.com, Behind the Box TV. Pretty much you can just Google it now. We've got 10 episodes now, so we kind of put ourselves out that, it'll kind of find it. You're going to add TV on the end of it. If you just search Behind the Box, you're probably not going to find it. But Behind the Box TV on Facebook, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and send us some emails. We'll talk about them. But yeah, keep watching.
Awesome. Yeah, keep watching, and we'll be back for another one in another week or two. So we'll see you then on the next Behind the Box.